Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to race number 22 of the debut season of the PCSRA Busch Series. First off, I want to apologize for the end of last week's race where we had a little audio issue. Hopefully, with today's 30 laps that we got coming up in today's race, it will not be an issue as far as that is concerned. But we're getting ready for today's race here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, as it is time for the running of the. I'm trying to think what the race name is called for this event. I will look it up while I. Oh, it's the Scarabs 200. That's what it is. 30 laps of racing. Jay Green is on the pole position in the sixth. He dropped 4 spots down to 14th in the point standings. Alongside of him is Drake Robertson, who dropped 6 spots down to 13th in the points after getting involved in a wreck last week. L Pelekai in row number 2. She is in the dropped 4 spots down to 17th in points. Still is inside the top 25 in points. And Prudence Martindale alongside of her. She is 28th in the standings. As you look at the rest of the starting lineup, let's make sure all of these cars will roll off for the Scarabs 200. And we'll go over your top 10 in the point. Nope, hold on. All right, let's try it again with the field rolling off behind the pace car. So far, so good. I don't know who it was in the back that had problems, but we are rolling nevertheless. Azar Amirmoez is the points leader by 12 points over Diego Marquez. Malin Lee is third in the standings, Sunni Hsu fourth. Brad Blackmon, is fifth. Sixth is M Amirmoez, who jumped up 2 spots. K Langeland is seventh. Danny Rant eighth. Ninth, Annika Ricci. And 10th is L Chang. L Pelekai, with that poor result, is now a total of 35 points ahead of 25th in the standings. And let me turn down the volume on my thingy here because I have it too loud. And the green flag is out. We're racing here at Loudon, New Hampshire for the Scarabs 200. That was not what I asked you to do, you stupid thing. I was trying to get to TV1 till you did that. Stupid volume on my laptop. Anyway, Darby King is a total of 4 points ahead of 25th in the standings, so she needs a good run to get herself away from that danger zone. 17 behind is Liliana Beta, who's 27th in the points. Sally Ford is a total of 18 points back of 25th in the standings. Bart Simpson is 23 back. 25 back is Bruno Wood. 33 back is Emily Green. And then Chloe Carmichael, who won last week's race at Watkins Glen. She is a total, 343 minus 295. Do not help me in the, if you're watching this race. She is a whopping 50 points back of 25th in the standings, so it's looking mathematically, unless Chloe Carmichael can get some good runs in these next 5 races, including today, I don't think Chloe Carmichael will make the top 25 in points to have that win from the Glen last week to count for a spot into the playoffs. But she would like to get some more wins to just build on some confidence going into next season. Jay Green in the 6th. He's been having a very good season so far. Looking for his third win on the year to get 5 more playoff points. He dropped 4 spots down to 14th in the points after a tough race last week at the Glen. Next week we'll have Busch and Winston Cup run the triple short track challenge. We first will race at, as the caution's out for the first time today, I'll finish what I'm going to say. We're going to race next week at Richmond, the following week at Martinsville, and then Bristol, which will be the next to last race of the regular season, which will have trucks there in that process. As Tico Jumiaka is involved in whatever this caution is, he came in this race at critical 25th position in the points. See if anybody else was involved. I can't tell if Lucy Myers has damage or not, or if they're just trying to get straightened out, like single file. I don't think so. Looks like the 37 is the only one that has damage on the back end. Looks like we had a wreck in turn number 3. So the caution's out for the first time today. Let's jump back and look at a replay to see what happened here in the early stages of the Scarabs 200. This is going into turn number 3. They were 3 wide here. That's Azar Amirmoez in the 12, Malin Lee right in the middle, and looks like the 37 is going to get into the 8. And how Malin Lee did not spin her Bass Pro Shop Chevy Monte Carlo around, I will never know. And in the wall goes Tico Jumiaka. It's amazing we only got away with a 1-car incident, which is kind of unheard of, because I was hoping that it was going to end up having more than just Tico Jumiaka getting spun to the wall, but surprisingly, we got away with only a 1-car incident, which is amazing. So the caution's out for the first time today. Tico, as I said, was 25th in the points, that critical 25th position of points. He's probably not going to have a good run, as we're going to take you to the restart here at Loudon. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing on lap number 10 of 30. Give me 1 second. My recording deal is acting up, but I got it fixed nevertheless. Anyway, we're going to go back to green on lap number 10 of 30. Should give us a total of 21 laps of racing to go. Top 10 as we go back to green. Jay Green is the leader. Drake Robertson second. L Pelekai third. Taylor Valley fourth. Azar Amirmoez fifth. Then it's Prince Martindale, Blake Peppers, Diego Marquez, Makar Amirmoez, and Landon Chang, your top 10. Just got back from the water fountain, which is right next to me, to fill up my water that I brought. And we're being told Justin Hugo has taken his car back behind the wall with a camshaft failure on that number 10 machine. So a tough break for him. He came into this race, as we're back to green, he was 37th in points. So Justin Hugo's terrible season continues as we're back to green. We just had our first single file restart. Of course, it's only Busch and Winston Cup until we go to Bristol in a couple of weeks. I do want to apologize about the Winston Cup race last week at the Glen, where I had my house manager be totally unprofessional when I'm recording races like I'm doing for this channel, and she was being a Karen. So I apologize about that, but I know y'all will forgive me on that. We had three drivers that would get in on points: Diego Marquez, S Hsu, Brad Blackmon, I was mentioning. And L Pelekai is up here at the front. Let's see where our former winners are at this season. Where are they running? Chloe Carmichael, last week's winner, in 16th. It might be too little too late for her. Bruno Wood, 29th. Sally Ford in 26th. Riley Roblier in 25th. What was the gap between Riley Roblier and 25th in the standings? It was a total of 5 points ahead of 25th in the standings. S Hsu's not having a good run. Of course, she was running well in points, so this could hurt her. And looks like Emily Green is looking very unlikely. Emily Green could possibly get herself into the top 25 in points, because she came into this race a total of 33 points back at 25th in the standings. I don't think that's going to be enough. So I can safely say, unless Emily Green can get a win or start getting top 5 runs in the next 4 races after today's race here at Loudon, I don't think she's going to make the playoffs. 39 of our 40 drivers are on the lead lap. Nobody a lap down. That's why we had nobody on the inside of the six. As there's Taylor Valley in the 99. She's been doing very good for Indiana Motorsports in her limited starts this year. She will be back full time next year. The catch for Taylor Valley is that because she is racing in this series next year and she's raced more than 7 Busch Series events, no longer qualifies her for the Rookie of the Year honors, which is a tough break for her. But she's just getting the experience, just trying to learn Busch car and doing very well in the Aaron's Dream Machine. So I can't complain about how much she's been learning over these 10 races that she's run this season. And let's not forget, her spotter is, interestingly enough, Maddie Crenshaw, who you will see Maddie Crenshaw in the other 39 Winston Cuppers tomorrow, as we'll bring you the USA Today 301 right here at Loudon. We're past the halfway point in the Scarabs 200. There's Leela Bakai running in third. Nice bounce back result after not a good result last week at the Glen. Drake Robertson, who was torn up last week at the Glen. Yeah, he definitely ill afford a poor finish out of that. Azar Amirmoez right there, and I also see second in points right there, right behind her, and that's Diego Marquez. Because, of course, the catch is Diego Marquez has yet to find victory lane, whereas Azar Amirmoez has won 4 races this season. And I look at Jay Green here, a driver, who raced in the amateur series. And now here he is in the Busch series with his sister, Emily. Yeah, both of them have been to victory lane this season. The catch is Jay Green is inside the top 25 in points for his wins to count, whereas Emily Green is outside the top 25, and her win would not count for a playoff spot. And pretty soon, I think 2-3 races down the road, we're about to confirm who's going to be in the playoffs and who is not. And all those drivers inside the top 25 that don't have a victory, they're all going to be in a must-win situation. That includes second in points, Diego Marquez. And what Diego is going to have to hope and pray for, along with Hsu and Blackmon, is that none of the former winners that are outside the top 25 get a good run and get themselves back in the top 25. Otherwise, they're going to be out, and those drivers are going to be in. Liliana Bates, Darby King, and Chloe Carmichael are running 18th, 19th, 20th last time, buddies. We have 10 laps of racing to go here at Loudon, New Hampshire. Next week's Busch race will be Friday night, and the Winston Cup race will be Saturday night, the next 3 nights. As here comes Taylor Valley. Now, here's the other thing I should mention, is that if Taylor Valley wins, it's not going to change the playoff picture any different. Because remember, Taylor Valley's not running for the championship because she came in late in the season. She's only here for victory. She's not here to win a championship. She's only here for victory. So, and like I said, even if she goes to victory lane, it's not going to make a difference on the playoffs. And plus, it would not be enough for her to get into the top 25 to have that win, if she does win, to count for a playoff berth. So she's just out there trying to get a good resume. Jay Green, on the other hand, is a driver who's just trying to collect more wins and try to get himself a nice little cushion between himself and the playoff cut line when we have the reformatted points coming up in a couple of races in 4 weeks' time. And you think about the races we have not run at this season for the we have not had. So, I mean, we've yet to go to Texas. Texas is, by the way, going to be in the playoffs. There's Leela Bakai. Just all she needs to do is just have good results these last 4 races after today, and she'll be safely in the playoffs. Because once the playoffs start, then that 25th position in the points part we've been talking about throughout the entire um, regular season will go out the window. So Liliana Beta. Oh yeah, and I also forgot to mention Bart Simpson's also another driver who's outside the top 25. And he came as race 30th in the points. He was a total of 23 points back at 25th in the standings. And with where he's running, we're going to have to see where this is going to situate him. Because I can tell you, a couple of former winners are not going to make the playoffs. If we have more than 12 drivers that are in the top 25, it's going to come down to where they're situated in the points. So that's going to be something. Like I said, with Taylor Valley, it's not going to matter to her if she wins this race. It's just that's one less driver who will not make the playoffs, but they're just getting a resume. And plus, Taylor Valley will not be a rookie driver in this series next season. Should also point that out. As we're going to take the white flag next time by. If we get a caution before they take the white, the race will end under the yellow. And these are, by the way, the first laps that Taylor Valley's led in her Busch career in her 11th start on the year. And she's going to take the white flag. One more lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. It's been a very good run for Taylor Valley. Of course, she's had a couple of struggling finishes, but just learning. That's all she's doing is learning. As here comes the driver from Maine, the closest she will get to a home race off of turn 4. First career win in her 11th start. Taylor Valley will take the Scarabs 200 here today at Loudon. And of course, this win is not going to count for a playoff berth because remember, she came in 11 races late. But she's getting a good resume, and I have a feeling she might be a contender next season for the playoffs. Standings are official here. Jay Green will get second. Of course, he led the most laps today, but we'll have to settle for second. But that's still a good result. Nice bounce back after a struggling race. I don't think Jay Green's going to fall outside the top 25 in points the way he's been consistently running. Blake Peppers will get third. Let's see. Blake Peppers where is he in points? He's 16th in points, so he'll move up inside. Leela Bakai is just continuing to be consistent. Fourth place for her. Annika Ricci will get fifth. Azar Amirmoez 6th. Drake Robertson 7th. D Marquez second in points, 8th. So Azar will still keep the points lead heading into next week at Richmond. Jake Littleton 9th, and Prudence Martindale will get top 10. Good run for Tula Topola, finishing in 12th. Liliana Beta got 15th. And let's see, her gap between, the good news is she did finish ahead of Tico Jumiaka. I wonder if 15th is good enough to get her back in the top 25. We'll have to wait and see. Bart Simpson, 16th. We'll see where this is going to situate him. Darby King, 18th. Tony Lopez was 19th. Tony Lopez came into this race 12 points ahead of 25th in the standings. I think he should be okay to stay ahead. Chloe Carmichael, I think time is running out for her, especially a 20th place finish. Sally Ford, 23rd. I don't know. I think she's going to be in a must-win situation in these next 4 races. Riley Roblier came into this race a total of 5 points ahead of 25th in the standings. The good news is he did beat Tico Jumiaka, who was wrecked as you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, but I don't know if a 24th place finish is going to cut it. Same with 26 for Bruno Wood. And you look further on down, Emily Green, I think that might just be game over for her in trying to make the top 25 in the standings, especially with a 35th place finish. I think Emily Green's more than likely her playoff hopes are going to be done. Tico Jumiaka was the last car to finish on the lead lap. Nobody finished a lap down or more after the only caution we've had here today. And only one driver did not reach the conclusion of the race, and that's Justin Hugo, who blew a camshaft, is why he had to take his car back behind the wall. So it's going to be interesting what the points are going to be like going into next week at Richmond. Taylor Valley is not going to be in the playoffs, however, but a nice resume as she gets her first career win here at Loudon, New Hampshire under Indiana Motorsports. But thank you all for joining me for today's race here at Loudon. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We showed your full finish results. Your point standings are down in the description heading into next week's race at Richmond. But we got to finish up this race weekend. Of course, trucks are off. We have the Winston Cuppers here for the USA Today 301 tomorrow. Hope you'll join us for that. Should be a fun race. Until then, I be D Robertson signing off. So long from the Magic Mile of Loudon, New Hampshire at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, as you've been watching yet another broadcast of PCSRA TV, where champions are made since 2010 and 15 years as the best in racing around the world since 2017. See you tomorrow for the Winston Cup race.